Oh, here's a question. I'm always going to love that one. Gary, is it really worth chasing after that fines-free pond and chasing after perfect water parameters, or should we just step back and let our ponds, leave our ponds alone to get on with nature? I think probably most people who've watched my stuff for a while know where I'm going to go with that one. Chasing fines, I mean, a fines-free pond doesn't exist unless, I mean, even if you're just running tap water, you're going to have particles in there, to be honest with you. When you've got fishing, it's never going to be. And I think the definition of fines is really one to nail down, to be honest with you, because I've seen people, doing videos of fines in ponds, and they're not fines from what I've seen. They're just particles, pieces of broken up shit and stuff like that. Fines cause white haze in the water because they are that fine, and there's a mass of them, and can be quite hard to strip out. That's a big difference. And that's what I'm seeing. I think pond windows has massively changed this. Because like I say, without a window, you'd be looking in a pond generally and you wouldn't see a lot of the particles that are in there. And I mean these are of size. Fines are so tiny, often take, really, really small micron filtration to remove it. And to be honest with you, most of the time that comes down to biological filtration to actually filter that low. So yeah, I think if you're in a point, and I was actually thinking about this earlier, if you're at a point where you are obsessing over fines, and again, what are perfect water parameters? This is the bit that nobody's ever really defined for anybody. Fines free, never going to happen. You're just going to drive yourself insane. And every decision you make to try and remove, and I'm going to say the particles again, because I don't think from what I've seen, people are misunderstanding what fines are. So if that's what you're chasing, and these perfect water parameters, I don't know, being zeros, again, they're not realistic, because unless there's nothing in the pond, they're never going to be zero, and it's always going to vary throughout different times when you test it. So I think the conversation needs to be more around what's best for the koi. That's always been my driver behind it all, and that's the decisions you need to be making, because ultimately, that crystal clear water, when you're also getting it down to the point of trying to get no particles in it at all, that's not great water, especially on days like today where the sun's absolutely beaming. If you've got no shade, that intense UV is damaging for the color. You can burn it, Benny especially, you can burn it out. It's not good. So yeah, I would say that often, is quite a selfish choice when you're keeping koi, to want your water that way. Nothing wrong with obviously having it clear. You want to see your fish, but it's what that definition of clear is when it comes to the point where you're trying to have zero particles in there. That's a water feature, not a pond. So yeah, I would let go of that one for sure, mate. And if it is stressing you out right now, don't let it. You just get it out your head and get on with enjoying your pond.